Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 18. Man, time is flying by, Jesse.
I know we're getting sidetracked with the other ones, which is good. But I mean, still that number just keeps climbing, which is good.
Yeah, man. And, final week of camp. Well, I mean, camp is over, but practice is underway. Mm-hmm. We have games this weekend. Man, it feels like it's been a long haul to get here. We have our final roster. We're looking forward to week 1 matchups. It's a good time to be a UFL fan, right?
It's a good time to be alive, man. And especially a good time to be a Michigan Panther fan. But yes, spring football is right around the corner. Everything is, everybody's starting. The engines are starting to go, man. I mean, obviously the players have been ready to go. They've been through training camp and all that stuff. And like you said, regular practice. But, man, we have a roster.
Yeah, we have the final 50 as we're going to call it.
Yes, sir. Final 50.
So
final
I know you have the roster doc ready to pull up if you want to pull that up for everyone.
Yes, sir.
This is Nick Thorne's roster doc. He shares it on X all the time. So shout out to Nick Thorne. This isn't an official depth chart. These are just like rough predictions at who he thinks could be in these positions at this depth.
Right. But the roster is correct. The roster is the official roster. It's just his, like you said, his assumptions of what's going to happen. And I agree at the quarterback position. Good job, Nick.
Yeah, yes, 100%. And then look at that running back room, man. That's stacked too. Nate McCrary, Michigan native, then Jaden and Matt Colburn.
One thing I wanted to point out that I didn't think was going to be on, which I'm tending to agree from what we've been hearing, but seeing the Jaden in front of Matt
yeah.
I agree.
Well, I thought I looked earlier in the week and it was Matt first and then Jaden.
It was, but I think he's kind of taking it all into consideration because I hear he's a play breaker. Like he's got some speed to him. So I'm really, really excited to see what that running back room has to offer. And like we talked about, man, if you get that play action or that pull and run going with Perkins and him, it's gonna be lights out.
Yeah, we're gonna have multiple ways to run the ball on you. You never know who's gonna have it.
Mm-hmm. So, and the first thing you pointed out was, holy crap! Look at that wide receiver room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Got Marcus Sims, Theosi Mariner, Malik Turner, Devin Ross, just possible starting 4. It's looking real good. And then you got these other guys for rotation. And that's crazy seeing Sampson at 5th.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, man. They pushed Sampson right out. So these draft picks, rookies, if you will, are in this league. Who knows where they've been as, they have depth. But anyway, seeing them push him back, I didn't really expect that, especially I mean, I know Sampson and Kai are kind of fan favorites, but they produce on the field. So I thought that it was going to be, and we've seen in camp highlights. There was a highlight of, I think it was the first scrimmage game. It was just a dime to the right from Bryce right to Sampson. Yeah. So I'm surprised at that pushback there.
I mean, that just shows how competitive that wide receiver room is.
Yeah, and this is all this is all from Nick, who knows more than us. He's got more access. So, I mean, he does his research, man.
Yeah, and then moving right on down to the tight end room. I mean, we've heard a lot of good things about Jalen, but Cole Hicatini and Gunnar Oaks, the 2 veterans, are holding on to those first 2 strings.
Yeah, I think they're, because tight end, I mean, it's the duality of it. You have to be an athlete, but also a lineman. I'm not saying they're not athletes, but you have to be a pass catcher and you have to be a lineman. So it's not surprising to me that those 2 are there, but I mean, Cole being the number 1, I think we could have penciled that in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A long time ago.
And then And then moving down, we got Brian Dooley. He's a new guy to the team. He's looks like he's at the starting position.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yeah, big friend of the show. Hopefully we can get him on sooner or later. Knock on wood, we're working on that. Shout out Brian Dooley if you're watching. And then we got Chim Okafor. I seen a picture on X or Instagram, and it was Brian Dooley, Chim, and Cole Cabrera all hanging out at practice.
Cole Cabral.
Cole Cabral. My bad.
He threw me off with the Cabrera. I'm like, dude, I think he's talking about Cole, but I don't.
Yeah.
Seems like a lineman thing.
Yeah, Cole Cabral.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, they got them, and then we go to the guards: Jake Burton, Cole Cabral, Ryan Nelson, Victor Kearney. I don't know. But you said that you had heard rumblings something about Cole. What did you hear?
I think on the UFL roster they had Cole listed as a center.
There you
on
go.
The UFL website.
So that would make sense. So bump Ryan up to 2. Well, the right.
Probably the other guard.
But yeah, probably the right guard. I mean, that's where. But and then Cole as riding center, and then I'm interested to see that first lineup, that first offensive snap, see who that's their guys. This is who has the scheme. This is who we trust with our offense. So, and then Noah at center, which I wonder if Cole is giving him a run or if that's just part of that same competition conversation that we tend to have every 2 times a week.
Right. But yeah, it's going to be, I think if something happens to Noah, maybe it's where Cole's going to fill in because he has,
Children.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good, man.
But he has, man, I'm drawing a blank. But he knows the position is what I'm trying to say. Like,
He's confident where he's at. I get what you're saying. You may be lost for that word, but I mean, moving on to the defense. Defensive line is all the same, man. I mean, majority we kept everybody's wise move. Good job. But I mean, everybody's back. Especially everybody. I mean, Breland, everybody was super happy about getting back. Especially the late signing of them.
And just look how deep we are on the defense in some places compared to the offense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You have to have fresh bodies, man. Defense is a different beast. Offense, yes. I'm not saying that it's less taxing. Don't get me wrong, but defense, man, especially if you play in a Mike Nolan defense that you're hurling your body at I feel like it's a Michigan style of football at this point. You got to have people because people are going to go down and you need bodies out there. So
sooner or later.
Yeah. Was there anybody that surprised you at all on
cuts?
Yeah.
Not really. Like I'm really satisfied with the 50 guys we got going into week 1.
Right.
So I'm not complaining. I think we have a lot of people are saying that we didn't upgrade enough from our 7-3 team last year to keep up with everybody else that signed a lot of NFL talent. And I could see that point.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said before, and I've said it a million times leading up to the season, having this many veterans coming back. And just for everybody that's unaware, anyone that's in the color like Bryce Perkins and Danny Etling, those are all returners.
Mm-hmm.
Highlights are new signings, and the dark purple color is draft picks.
Draft pick. Oh yeah, I think I said draft pick earlier for somebody. Anyways,
so that's how this is breaking down. So all this normal background color, these are all returners. These are all veterans. So they know the language and they have the chemistry. Yeah. They've all played together. So in week 1, they were in step 2 or 3 of the playbook versus people that are still learning the language
Mhm.
in other teams.
Just like Coach Runza talked about, man, that familiarity, the keeping that language, the complicated language that we use for the sport, but keeping that whole, and especially when you're maintaining your coaches. So your coordinators are your language writers for the team, essentially, unless it's someone like Coach Nolan, who's probably they're doing what he says there on the defense. But primarily, those two guys. So if one leaves, it's really on the head coach. Hey, am I keeping the way we are, or are we going to roll with what the new guy has? Because maybe you could change systems, whatever happens. But like you said, having those same guys, it's priceless.
Yeah, dude. Like, I think that's given us so much of a competitive edge over a lot of these other teams, and I think it's going to really help us
in
the long run.
We're beating that horse to death, man.
Yeah.
Love it when there's no ball being played and there's nothing else to talk about. We're standing pat in what we feel, though. I love it.
Right. Yeah. I'm standing my ground.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And I've let my opinion be known. I don't want to say 100 times, but like as many episodes as I've talked about it.
Yeah. Well, we only have a
Probably
few days left.
Yeah. So that game is 8 days away from today. Going down at Liberty Simmons Banks
not that game.
Stadium or whatever. The first game against Memphis.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a big one. Week 1 conference win.
Especially with what we think Memphis is going to shape up to be this year.
Whoa.
One thing I did want to say, leading back to what I asked you, if there were any surprises. One that did surprise me was Goforth when they cut him. And I think Raylan Goforth, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I kind of think the reasoning for that is bias, and we kind of talked about his name a lot. So, but that was really the only last day cut that I was surprised by. I mean, I think Hightower, we kind of were a little surprised when that happened. But I mean, other than that, the team kind of shaped up into what we assumed it was going to be.
Right. So I kind of like spilled the beans a little bit, but let's change up into our week 1 predictions, what people are probably kind of waiting on. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We don't want to. You want to finish on with the defense and special teams real quick?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
My bad.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, you're getting excited, man.
I'm excited.
Slow and steady. Slow and steady. I know. We got a few days. We can take it. All right. But linebackers, obviously, big man.
Frank the Tank.
Yes, sir. Frank the Tank. And I love that they, for pretty much the whole defense, they put Frank, the picture of Frank.
Yeah. So, and then we got Javen White in there, and Donovan Mooten, Noah Dawkins. 3 out of the 4 guys are returners. And then if you want to go into the cornerback room and strong safeties like the DBs, a lot of people said that was, our secondary was a little bit weak last year. That's something that we can improve on. And look, we got some highlighted cells here where we've grabbed some new talent, put them to the test, and it looks like they're doing pretty well, apparently in Nick Thorne's opinion.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, it looks like they're leading the pack, which it looks like coming out with a complete new secondary. Interesting for a decent defense in the previous season. So, I mean, if we just upgraded every position, that's great. Especially with them coming in. Obviously, defense is not less of the language and more of the scheme. You have to learn your responsibilities, but if they're able to grasp that, maybe that's why they brought them in. Good fit for that scheme.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing Kai down on the 3rd position, and Kai, Bryce, and Adonis. Those are 3 big names I remember from last year. Adonis had a big interception, and I forgot what game it was. It was a little bit later in the season, and I feel like a conference game. made a big, you know what I'm saying? We've talked about it before. A couple of big plays changes the game.
Oh yeah.
And that
Always
was one of
down
them.
to them few plays, man.
Mm-hmm. Defensive turnovers, man.
Yeah. Well, leading into the special teams, the specialists. So BT Potter, he fought through all the competition that Coach Nolan put him through, man. He made it through, and he is the Panthers starting kicker.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. We were pretty pleased to see his percentages when we looked him up when we first saw that we signed him.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see what he can do this year. Let's
kidding.
see if Mike Nolan did end up utilizing Jake Bates a lot last year for his length that he could kick. So let's see if he has some of the same length, or maybe he just a little bit. He doesn't have the length, but he's a little bit more accurate. You know what I'm saying? From like
Right. Yeah, and that's
40 to 50.
I think it was Zach that pointed out his longest was like 53, 54, something like that when he was at Clemson. So yeah, I'm very interested to see. I mean, clearly he won the battle. We brought him in, and Blewett went to Houston, yeah. So sure. I mean, that's that same everybody being down there. Look how quick that happened. I mean, we cut him because he, all right, well, he's going there. Pretty much, we brought him on, and we proved to them that they wanted him. So,
yeah, and that's gonna be another one of those like Coach Holt talked about whenever he was on the show. He was saying that's gonna be one of the big benefits is because like everybody's just gonna be there.
Yeah,
and if something happens, and if somebody that's real special needs another opportunity,
go down the hallway, go to that guy. He's gonna want you. Take this film.
Don't even pack your bags.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move rooms.
Right.
Yep, and then Seth Vernon, punter. I mean,
hopefully we don't have to see him a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And then another friend of the show, Jordan Ober, made it through. I was talking to him the other day. He's got to be tired from all the snaps he's taken from these battles, man.
Oh yeah, because he's been the only one there to get all these guys worked out and get looks at them.
Especially when they're in an active competition. He's probably like, dude, why did they do this to me?
Right. Remember whenever he said it, man, if I had to do like 200 snaps in a day, my arms would fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad we still have your arms, Jordan.
Yeah.
Keep
them spry. Get in a sauna or a cold bath or something.
Yeah, go hang out with Ryan. I know they got the sauna and the ice bath over there.
They have
all over their Instagram.
Yeah, they're loving it. They're sitting in there just munching out, and they got the like game room set up.
Yeah,
they're ready. They're ready for the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, them boys. When they go home, they definitely relax for sure and rejuvenate.
Yeah, but all right. Well, that's our final 50, man.
It's our final 50, and somebody on Facebook was asking us to do like a rule thing. I don't know if it's a rule thing about every team can only have 3 running backs. If anybody knows that, leave that for sure in the comments below. I'm not 100% sure. But if you look at every team on the roster with the roster doc, they only have 3 running backs.
Well, I mean,
could not be.
I mean, it might be just that's the way that typically rosters are. You don't want to run too heavy on that side. Especially on the offense when you need a bolstered defense.
Every position counts with 50 people because there's 22 starters.
Yeah.
Not including special teams. So.
All right. Well, here you go. Back to your Thunder. You ready?
Yeah. Week 1 predictions. And I'm pumped for this. I haven't really put too many thoughts into it, but I'm going off of gut instincts and what I'm feeling. I might have some bias in there against some teams. Don't hate me, guys. I'm just a fan of football. So,
yeah.
And me and Jesse haven't talked about it either, so we're gonna get.
You started here right before you press record. You started saying something. You're like, nope.
Yeah. Let's leave it for the show.
Yes, sir. All
I
right. Well,
want to ask you
you haven't.
first game at TDECU, Friday night, first Friday night lights. Houston Roughnecks, revamped Houston Roughnecks versus the St. Louis Battle Chickens. I mean, Battlehawks.
Well, so we know the Battlehawks have a great offense. Potent, we'll say. Well, potent skills. And we know that Houston struggles on defense, or at least, if we can say historically. Can we say historically? Yeah. Second season, man. We got history, right?
Oh, got a little bit of history.
Yeah. It doesn't go back far, but
it's there.
It's there. It as much as it pains me to say, I think that the Battlehawks are going to take this on the road, man. I think that I think it's just going to be a lot, and I think with the overhaul of the Roughnecks and the perceived lack of coaching ability, we'll say that. I think that the Battlehawks will take it home. I think they'll take it. They'll go in and they'll fly off of the rig with who knows what.
Yeah, I mean, what they got Manny Wilkins and Max Duggan fighting out at QB at St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Jacob Saylor still at running back. And they got Hakeem Butler and Ja'Cour Pearson coming back at receiver. Like, those are all key components. I mean, besides for a QB position.
And some of them for the league, like top positions for the league. So
yeah, I don't think Ja'Cour Pearson was up in the runnings, if not like offensive player of the year.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, good luck to the Roughnecks, but I don't think 12 has happened.
Yeah. Sorry, ref. So,
all right, man.
My predictions.
Yeah, who you got?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ride with you, man. I think St. Louis is gonna get the L on the road, or gonna get the dub on the road. Sorry, Houston. I know it's gonna suck losing at your first home game
back.
At TDE. Yeah, first game back at TDECU.
Yeah.
I know we have plenty of Roughnecks fans that are fans of the show. Sorry to say it. Hopefully you guys prove us wrong, because we're not the biggest St. Louis fans.
I don't think it's going to be a steamroll. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like this is a guarantee, but I don't think it's going to be a steamroll. I think it's going to be a game. It's the first game. So everybody's you still have to figure things out even within the season. But I think overall the Battlehawks are going to take it in the end.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
The Swords with Wings get the dub.
Unfortunately.
All right. Well, I'm going to lead you into this next one then. So we got the reigning defending XFL champions taking on the Arlington Renegades with the Spring King returning.
Arlington was actually the winners of the XFL championship whenever it was still the XFL. Oh,
well, I'm saying like they were the championship winner for the conference.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
if I said it wrong, I apologize.
My bad. But yeah, they got, like you said, Luis Perez is coming back for Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of key people coming back: Day Hunter, Davon Smith, Tyler Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? On the offense, there's a lot of new bodies on the defense, which tends to be a thing this season. Mm-hmm. And a lot of teams.
I feel like the pool of talent that all teams are grabbing from on the defensive side of the ball has just skyrocketed. I feel like everybody, like the legitimacy of the league has improved. So I think in that we're getting better access to better players for the rosters.
And even all the coaches have said, like, the competition in camp this year was at the height as it's been for spring football so far.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to divulge too much into this, like for reasonings why, but I definitely think that the Brahmas are going to win week 1 over the Renegades.
That's all you got for it?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I don't think Arlington's defense is going to be able to hold up to the Brahmas. And the
Okay.
Brahmas defense is going to definitely stop Arlington's offense.
Yeah, it seems like um maybe it's the way that the league set it up, or maybe it's because we also are road dogs. But it seems like we're leaning towards the road dogs this year, for this first week. So I as well think that the Arlington Renegades, even with the Spring King, I don't even know what else to call him, with him, the UFL, the Spring Football Messiah at quarterback, I don't think that they're going to be able to overcome the Brahmas, man. I mean, coming off of last year, and especially being frankly pissed off after after the championship, I think they're coming out swinging. I think they're going to come out hot, whether they're on the road or not. So, I too,
Yeah.
Brahmas.
Yeah, and the Brahmas they have the most away games this year because of scheduling problems at the Alamo Dome.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to be some road dogs this season to make us to make a really good season if they want to make another playoff run.
And after hearing that news, they probably were like, "All right, well, good, make it harder. We're gonna go on the road and see, and we're still gonna get back." So,
Doesn't matter where we play.
exactly.
And then, of course, I don't know if we really should have to talk about this one because everybody knows we're homers, man. But man, if anybody's going to give us a fight out of week 1, besides for Birmingham in our conference,
Yeah,
it's going to be Memphis, man. They've definitely retooled the defense. I'm going to call them the Memphis Maulers this season.
I don't. We didn't put it up, but let's see. 4, 8, 6.
I think
Every single player besides Kyrie Woods and Shelton, every single player aside from the defensive line is new. So all their edge, all their linebackers, every corner besides the 2 I mentioned, and their entire secondary.
and I
Everything.
think Jaron Horton said it in camp. It was like 6 or 8 Maulers that came over.
They did.
So
San
that
Antonio Maulers.
like
And they
we've talked about with us having that camaraderie on our team and knowing the language with Boogie Roberts and Jaron Horton being on that defensive front with Jaron running at defensive coordinator. A lot of these guys that came back from the Maulers, they're on the defensive side of the ball. So knowing that language also gives them a leg up.
It does. And you know that their defense is run the same way as the Maulers. They got the same colors on. They're running the same scheme. They got the same coach. Like they're going to be the same.
They're coming out hungry and pissed off. Like
They are.
Jaron wasn't a coach last year. Boogie wasn't a player last year.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are going to come back with a little bit of. I mean, we've said it before. Boogie said it to somebody. It's not a chip on his shoulder. It's a boulder. These guys are pissed off. So I don't think we're just going to run away with the game because, week 1, everybody has stuff to work on. But I definitely think we're coming home with the dub.
I think a little bit of an upside we have in this game is the mystery of Bryce Perkins. Granted, he did have playing time and significantly so, but he didn't get it. He wasn't a starter full season. And this is, me assuming that he's going to be the starter. But I do think that is an advantage, having one, the duality of him as a player, and 2, the lack of film, whereas they can game plan.
Yeah. So, like we said, yep, road dogs. Week 1.
Panthers are taking it, baby.
Yeah, Panthers are taking it.
Mm-hmm.
That's big because it's a conference game. So,
I like that. Road wins are always good, man. I know we can't be there, but it's always. I mean, I feel like they always say conference or divisional games are worth twice, but I think that as a team, when you win on the road, that's worth more to the team. Like it builds that, having that camaraderie. Like we just walked in here and took it away. Like you can
Yep.
look at your buddy. Like I'll go. I don't care where we're going to play. I'm going to go with you.
Yep. And then next week we're going to be at Ford Field at home for the home opener. It's going to be electric, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to do everything we can to try to get people over there. I know you said you're going to head down you're going to be down in Detroit all day long.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm planning on going early. I always do for these sporting events. My family used to actually go because I lived in Port Huron prior to joining the service, but we would literally take a bus. We'd meet up at like that Kmart, and then we would take the bus all the way down there, and we would have a keg on the bus. Yeah, man, we went hard down there. We had shirts made, like party bus. It was a good time. So and that would be we'd be waiting on cold in the parking lot at like 7:00 in the morning, ready to go down there. So
sitting there with some coffees and some hot cocos.
Yeah, that's like it's going to be on the 13th. Yeah, the 13th, the Brahmas game. We're gonna be down there. I'm gonna be down there early.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get down there as early as I can.
Yeah. So. But anyways, yes, Road Dogs, Panthers win.
Yeah, Panthers dub. And then heading into the last game of the week, Birmingham at DC. I think everybody kind of knows what's going to happen here. We don't. I mean, like we said, it's kind of a road dog. Everybody away teams seem like they're gonna come out hot this season.
Yeah, I mean, how many? I don't want this is gonna sound mean. How do I rephrase this? How many interceptions is Jordan Ta'amu going to throw in this game? That's what I'm questioning. Not the final score or who's going to win. Is how is he going to look going into this game and starting the season? Is he going to be? He's like that 30 for 30 Jameis Winston season, man. And I want him to succeed, and I want it to be, but he's got to get it together. Yeah, but I do not think this is the game, even though it's at home and there's going to be a beer snake rocking, and it's going to be a good time down there. But I think they're going to leave with a little bit of a hung head because I think the Stallions are going to.
Not just that, and right before we got on and started recording this, we seen that Reggie Barlow's going to Tennessee State.
Boom!
So DC's also losing their head coach.
Yep, and what their tight ends coach is stepping in, our quarterbacks coach,
something like that. Quarterbacks coach, I think, is going to be the offensive coordinator.
So yeah, you throw that on top of everything that I just said, and I don't think. I mean, unless he does turn out to be that, the positive side of that coin, unless he does show up to be, he is the leader that he can have for the team. Yeah, exactly. Like, all right, there's no coach. I got this. We're going to go get a dub. But that's an uphill battle, man. You're pushing a big boulder.
Yeah, against the Stallions, because they're going to come out. They're coming out loud and proud.
Oh yeah,
they're chasing that 4-peat this season to just say that they can, and they're here, and they're not going anywhere. But everybody else in the league has the mindset. Birmingham's going down.
Yeah,
they got a target on their back.
I mean, 3 in a row, man. Of course they do.
Yeah,
3 in a row, and this is the second year of the league.
Yeah,
so funny to say that, but I digress. I do think that DC is they're gonna be throwing haymakers, especially now. Like, what do they have to lose in this game after that? The move earlier. So wild. He's going to Tennessee State, you said.
Yeah,
I wonder if they just offered it to him, or if
it's something that's been in the works for a little while.
Yeah, like if he's been waiting, or if maybe post camp he's like, you know what, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The UFL, maybe they don't pay as much as some of these colleges.
Oh, I mean, I know
you know what I'm saying.
I haven't looked, but I would assume that head coaches of a good program, good collegiate program, they have access to more money.
Mm-hmm. And who knows how much longer he's doing this? Maybe he's trying to, make one last run at some money and get out for retirement.
If regardless, I mean, it sucks for DC, especially after this long of him being the coach working up to the season. But good for him. Good if it is obviously it's a good spot. I mean, he's going to college, man. Going back to college, but he's got to put his recruiting boots on.
So, yeah, like we said, week 1 looks like St. Louis, San Antonio, Michigan, and Birmingham are going to come out on top.
Road sweep.
Yes. I'm calling it right now. We got receipts, people. We record this stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we get a date on here.
And if
there's a date.
And if I'm wrong, oh well.
It's not like anybody's watching anyways.
There's a few people that watch.
Yeah, I was just kidding. But yeah. Make sure we got a few more subscriptions. So make sure if you haven't, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Trying to get to that 150. Somebody
15 away.
Somebody come get these tickets. I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to give them away
for free. You don't have to pay.
For free. Yeah.
No money.
Yeah, get a couple other people to subscribe, and then we'll figure out how we're giving them away. 100%.
What's gonna hurt? We pop up in your timeline a few more times.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you don't like our faces, just scroll past it.
You
don't even have to watch.
Has not stopped sprinting around his enclosure this entire time. Sorry, tortoise. He's a tortoise. Sorry, Kevin.
Got it nice and warm.
Can't believe you don't hear him. Yeah, he's just running around, man. Running. I mean, he's slowly, but for him, he's running.
Yeah, he's active.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jesse said, subscribe so we can give away these tickets. We're gonna have a link for the group event. We're getting closer to that. Once we get enough people, we can sign up for that fan experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, and from what I've heard, just a little PS on the side, the theme nights this year, they're going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. They are in the works.
People are in the works of doing some really cool things, and that's all I can say.
Yes. Yep. We were in communications, and good things are happening that nobody knew about. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Positive for the team for sure.
Yes, sir. So, you got anything else? Oh, yeah. There's going to be merch link. I had to switch up T-shirt suppliers because of all the tariff stuff going on. So the shirts are going to be a little bit more expensive. They went from like $16 to like $22 because I had to get I think I went from a Gildan T-shirt to an Under Armour T-shirt.
Ooh, that's worth the price bump though.
Yes, the quality is much better for a couple more dollars.
Mm-hmm. Gildan is good, but I don't like because I'm long, man. They always like the bottom is blown out for me. It's like too wide where my waist is, but the length is okay. That's that's what I fight.
Yeah, and the Under Armour athletic gear, that stuff is just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's it, man.
Yeah, that's it.
That is our week 1. We've done our predictions on the pod now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Week 1 bold predictions. Yeah, we kind of skipped over power rankings, but
it doesn't seem bold in my eyes. I see it and it seems like those are just the teams that should win, but they're all road dogs. So let's see it happen.
Let's see what happens.
All right, man. Take us out of here, though.
Yep. And as always, Panther fans, remember, let's hunt.